You don't think you have a real job if you're a realtor. Your family doesn't think you have a real job. Your friends don't think you have a real job. And quite frankly, your clients don't even think you have a real job. That is the number one biggest mistake that I think most new realtors or even seasoned realtors make, is they don't treat their job like a real job. What do you mean you don't have a real job? Well, most realtors work at home. They have what they call flexible hours, which in everybody else's definition means that you're readily available and you're the one that's going to do most of the tasks for the family or the friends. I mean, just this week, I had this gal say, hey, let's go in on a birthday gift. Okay, you get the gift. Like, people, I'm the busy one. I don't have time. But it is a perception that we have these like flexible hours, and our family and friends, and I love my family and my friends, but they don't have the proper boundaries. So if you're starting out as a new realtor, you need to designate like a certain boundaries with your family, like, hey, when the door is closed here, like no one goes in, no one calls, this is like kryptonite, no one goes near it. Or you get an offsite office. You work at your broker's office. Just this year, I finally bit the bullet and I moved out of the office, my home office, and moved into a very beautiful office at my brokerage firm. And why I did not do that sooner is because I'm not listening to me on these videos. You will be so much more productive. You're going to be collaborating with other people that are like-minded, that give you great ideas. If you're a new agent, do not work at home. And if you have to, establish boundaries with the people that you're living with. You'll thank me later for that. If you are serious about your job, you have to treat it like a real job. You get up at the same time every day. You show up every single day at the same time. And the way that I work is that I get up every day, usually around 5 o'clock, sometimes 4 o'clock, depending on how busy I am, because that is the most productive time of the day when no one's calling me, my family's not up yet. And the first 4 hours of the day, I protect like my life depends on it. I don't want any interruptions. I don't set any appointments. It's my time to prospect. It's my time to watch even YouTube videos to learn a little something more. Those 4 hours are the most productive hours of my day. And if you're starting out as a realtor, for me, it's the first part of the day, but I would block out 4 hours minimum a day that you are just crushing it. Right? Every hour is like hour of power. Take a break, go back and do another hour of power. And you make sure no one interrupts you. You do not get sidetracked when your girlfriend or boyfriend or whoever or family member calls you on the phone that wants to talk about the holiday party. Like, nothing disturbs you during those 4 hours. You have to be very selfish with your time because others do not understand the importance of that. They love you, but they don't understand how distracting it can be being in this position. So you gotta fight for your time and your goals, and trust me, they will learn to respect it, they will understand it, and you will get the results. As we're taping this video right now, I've already received 5 phone calls from people that I do want to talk to and I do want to follow up with. But if I picked up that phone right now, I would never get this video down, and this is important to me. It's important to the people that are watching, and I would never get this done because in this business, the tail wags the dog, and you got to set the proper boundaries. So one of the things that I do, the first thing I do when I wake up is I record a voicemail that says something like, "Hi, you've reached Audra Lambert. Today is August 29th. I will be working out of the office. I do have a few appointments. If you don't reach me in the morning, expect to hear from me after 2 p.m. But of course, if this is urgent, text me and I will respond as soon as possible." Okay, so that lets the callers know, okay, we get it. She's busy, but she's gonna call me back. And then if you're working on a video or you're working with a client, you don't feel that urgency to constantly pick up the phone. Do not let this business run the show. You've gotta get control over it. Now, I've heard from several agents this week. Now, part of it is I'm interviewing for positions, and so I'm hearing a lot of their concerns or why these realtors are in the position that they're in, looking for work or just not being successful. I've had a few agents in my own office say, "Hey, Audra, how are you doing it? Like, what's your secret sauce?" I would say the number one biggest complaint that I'm hearing from new realtors or even seasoned realtors is that their brokerage house isn't doing it for them. It's just not, they're not giving them the leads, they're not giving them the training, and they don't seem like they're readily available. They're thinking that maybe if they were to switch brokerage houses, that would make all the difference in the world for them. Okay, no. Your brokerage house is not gonna do anything for you, nothing. If you have that mindset, I think you'll realize like, oh my gosh, I'm on my own. I'm just kind of thrown out to the wolves. And it's kind of like parents having that new kid, like they had to bring this baby home, like, yeah, where's the manual, right? Like, I'm not cut out for this, but you will figure it out, okay? When I started real estate, I bought this book, and I can't remember what the book's name is. I wish I could find it. It's completely outdated now. But nonetheless, I didn't go to the brokerage house. I didn't go to the team meetings. I just read my book and did what the book told me to do. I put out 50 open house signs. I door knocked. I did all this crazy stuff, right? And all I can tell you is that if you want to be successful in this business, you cannot rely on other people to do it for you. They're not going to supply you the leads. They're not going to train you. They're not going to tell you to wake up. They're not going to check on you. Like, you are an independent contractor. You are running your own business. The one thing your broker does for you is they take the risk on your deals. I'm lucky. I have a good relationship with my broker. They have meetings, they have some trainings, they keep me current on some of the changes, but they do a lot of the back end management for me. So like all my documents that I do in a transaction, they store for me. They process my checks for me. But realize, I would just look at your broker as, if you're lucky, they'll give you training, they'll keep you posted, and they help you with the back office kind of stuff, right? The stuff that you don't want to deal with. And if you ever get sued, they usually help you out in that category too. And if they don't, you're with the wrong broker. This is the most important part of this whole video. And I apply this to my life. I try to take my own education into my own hands. I don't rely on my broker. I don't rely on, people that I team up with. It's like, you need to be responsible for your education. And before I did this video or taped this video, I watched a few other videos. And a lot of these realtors out there that are trying to give advice to new realtors is, oh, you got to go do your CRM tool and sphere of influence. And, as a realtor, you're a salesperson. And if you're not comfortable being a salesperson, then you have no business being in real estate. Okay, first of all, let's be clear on something. As a realtor, we're not trying to convince homeowners to sell their house. That's not our job. Our job is to convince homeowners that we are the right person to represent them in a transaction. That's a much different mindset, okay? So when you're calling or you're talking to your aunt and uncle, your sphere of influence, you're like, hey, sell your house, you're trying to convince them the market's tanking. That's not our job, okay? Our job is to try to find sellers, homeowners, buyers that want to purchase or want to sell, and you offer them your services. But you are not going to do a good job if you don't know what your job is. So I'd say 80%, and I'm not joking, of the realtors that are new, and even some of the ones that are seasoned, have no idea how to fill out a listing agreement and a purchase offer. No idea. And in my opinion, a realtor should never even be licensed. They shouldn't even have their license if they don't know how to do that. It creates so much liability for them, so much liability for their clients. And when you sign on with a brokerage house, most of their focus is on trying to get you a deal. So they're going to tell you to go create a CRM tool, go put your data, your friends and family in there, and go bug them till they hate you, and and you're going to get a deal, because most agents will get 1 or 2 deals just based on their sphere of influence. And if they flake out after 2 years, no big deal. The broker made some money on you, so they're fine with that. So you have to take your education into your own hands. When I get up in the morning, one of the first things I do is I will watch another YouTube video on real estate. I can't tell you how much that's changed my life. People are very helpful. They're very friendly, and you just can't know it all. I've been in the business for about 18 years now. Previous to that, I worked for a company called Ingram Micro. I was their sales director. And what I learned from working at Ingram Micro is there's constant education. So when I got into real estate, the number one thing that I learned is that you have to just constantly be learning and growing and pushing and trying to figure out how to differentiate yourself. But if you're just sitting waiting for your aunt and uncle to call you, or you pass out a few flyers and you're expecting these people to call you to sell their house, it's not going to work, and you're not going to be successful in this business. Now, let's say you're spending all this time getting educated. I would say my weakness as a realtor is I'm on the nerd side. I mentioned that I work for a computer company, and I love having really pretty marketing, and I love having flyers, and I want to learn all there is to learn. But my weakness is that I go on the other side, where I'm not getting out there as much as I could. Like, I'll do my flyers, I'm not getting on the phone, I'm hoping the phone rings, and I get myself too busy doing technical things, social media stuff, creating a listing presentation, all that's important. But the bottom line is, there is some truth to, you need to be out in front of people. People have to know what you're doing. You need to be relevant. And the best way to do that is maintaining your CRM tool. Okay, CRM, what is it? I actually had to go look it up on my computer. It's Customer Relationship Management Tool. So all it is like a database where you put all of your contacts into it. So it's very important that you learn this habit early on. I have been terrible about this. Like when I first started, I just put everybody's name on an Excel spreadsheet, and then of course I'd forget and I wouldn't follow up. What this tool does for you is it helps you follow up on birthdays. If you had an open house, you have these emails, you can create categories, you can send a certain messages to certain people. It is what should organize your life. So one of the things that I've been horrible at is following up with people. I'm horrible at it. I'm too busy creating a flyer or creating a new business card or doing an open house or planting roses for someone. But this is the thing that has changed my life this year. So when I get up, leave my voicemail on my phone, I make a minimum of 5 phone calls a day, whether it be past clients, somebody in my farm, or a lead from an open house. I do at least 5 a day. It's a discipline I got myself into. And quite frankly, man, you want to care about people when you're calling them too. I just like my job better now that I'm doing this. Do not make the mistake that I made. I would be in a much better place financially. I'd probably have better friends and relationships if I instituted this early on. I swear, I just started this year. This is insane. I've missed so much business. Get on it. Do not skimp. Create the good habits, especially when you're first starting. It'll catapult you in a whole different world, much faster, much smoother. Get disciplined on this one. You'll thank me later. The next one is the hardest one for me, and that is pick up the phone and call people. I'd rather type an email. I'd rather text. Getting on the phone takes active listening, and a lot of people just hang up on you, but who cares, right? This is not about you winning every single deal and converting every lead, or every phone call. So you just got to get comfortable with that. I farm an area, so that means I focus on a certain area in my city that I live, and I market to them, so they already know me. And I, call them usually for a reason. Like if I have a new house that I listed in their community, I'll call them and let them know. I'll, ask them if they know of anybody else that has interest in selling their house in the community. And then I try to offer some value. Like, hey, I do know that your Milgard windows their warranty's up at the end of this year. Give me your email and I'll send you how to file and how to take the serial numbers down. You want to offer some value, but just to call someone and feel uncomfortable, it's never good. I follow this guy named Brandon M. I think lovely guy. He's a little bit different style, but he has really helped me get on the phone and ask those difficult questions. It's not needy. I'll link his information down below. Love the guy. And if I'm looking for a mentor or looking to have someone give me advice, I always pick somebody that isn't like me at all, so I can learn where my weak spots are. So I will encourage you to do the same. The next thing that I've done here is the social media. So if you're a new agent, I say get on this phone and start videotaping, okay? YouTube is a beast. I did YouTube. I've been doing it for 3 years. It's painful. It's a ton of effort. The first 100 videos that I did, I couldn't get the audio to work. I was all blurry. I'd spent a week videotaping, didn't get anything out. Everyone else was having fun, and I'm sitting here struggling with my stupid video. I just, hated it. I start with TikTok or Instagram, okay? And especially if you're a new agent, you can say, hey, I'm a new agent, and this is what I'm learning today. And then integrate some of your own social life. And since I've done this, I just started Instagram, I want to say, 8 months ago, 9 months ago. And I'm super surprised at how interactive it is. We are in a digital age. And if you're not using your, digital equipment, your cell phone, doing it in Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube, you're going to be doing your clients a disservice. I, in fact, walked into a listing presentation this last week with no listing presentation, picked up the wrong materials, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? I'm up against 5 other agents. And I just went really strong on the digital marketing because it's all on my phone, it's on my YouTube. And if you are a new agent or if you're an older agent and you're struggling, like, you have to embrace technology. And I want to say this because I see a lot of older agents that have been in the industry and they're like, oh, Audra, I'm not technical. I mean, I'm older too, right? And it's hard for me too, but you have a special niche because you have or niche or whatever. You have people who are older, who are maturing, that don't understand digital. And as an older, we'll say realtor, older individual entering the digital market space, you're going to have a completely different people who watch you, people who follow you, and potentially, clients that will use your services. But you have to embrace technology. If you don't, you're a dying breed. I hate to tell you, but it really is the truth. So the new agent, social media, and go hard on it. If you are a new realtor, I'm really going to recommend that you join a team, find a mentor, or partner up with somebody as an accountability team. When I first started, I didn't join a team. I just kind of got thrown out there in the wilderness with my partner, and I didn't have a good partner. But I'll tell you one thing, I know my personality, and that is I will always pull my weight if someone else is committed to do the same. So I had to report. I had an accountability partner, and it did catapult me into real estate, and I did more of my fair share. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't a great partner. It didn't end well. But the bottom line is it got me off my couch and got me moving, because I knew someone else was dependent on me, and I had to report to them back to what my daily tasks I did. If you do not have some type of accountability when you're first doing this business, it's a very high probability that you may not succeed. It's really hard, really hard to get up that discipline on your own, especially when you're faced with so much disappointment. But if you hang in there, you have the proper tools and accountability and programs in place, you will be successful. And finally, no one prepared me for this, but it's kind of like, I always go back to this childbirth thing, but like, no one prepares you for childbirth and how difficult the first year is going to be. Like, you're sleep deprived. You don't really know if you had a human child because it doesn't seem like a human. I mean, I'm joking, but there's, at least for me, when I had my son, I didn't this wasn't my thing. It wasn't fun. We had a lot of issues. My kid was sick all the time. My baby was. Anyway, he's great now. But my point though is when you're first starting out, you're going to want to quit. You're going to get disappointed. You're going to feel like you're working insane hours and getting no results. And when you're in that place, all I can tell you is push forward. This is a marathon, but once you get through it, I'm telling you, you will have success. Keep learning, create a schedule, set your boundaries, take yourself serious, and take your job serious. And I promise you, you will have those results that you desire. So this video isn't something I typically do, but I've had so many people reach out to me asking me these questions. So anyway, I'm just trying to help my fellow realtors out there, giving back a little bit. I wish I had someone telling me the things I'm telling you now, because it will save you a lot of time, hassle, and you'll just be more efficient and you'll be more confident when you're out trying to bring in that deal or close a transaction. Just keep up the good work. Don't give up. Thanks for watching this video. And if you got any benefit out of it, please smash that like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.